the race for the Great American Race, the Daytona 500 here continues with group qualifying here today at Daytona International Speedway. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Seth Cole. We're getting ready here for 28 drivers who have not, up to this point, locked themselves into the 11th annual running of the Snickers Cup Series Daytona 500. How this group qualifying is going to be going down, we're breaking historical ground here in NNSCRA. It'll be a 10-lap race. However, this is not a battle to try and win this event. This is a battle to try and put down the fastest lap time possible within that 10-lap period. That is the part of the ticker we will be focusing on during this segment. Only 8 drivers will be racing their way into the Daytona 500 via their speeds in this 10-lap segment. There are some drivers that are certainly hoping it's going to be them, like Charles Jackson, Kyle Matthews, Levi McIntyre, DJ Curtis, Dylan Young, James McLeod, and James Silverfox, drivers who raced last season but did not have a good enough season to have themselves top 35 in the point standings. They have one of 3 options. They can make the show by a lap time here today. They can make the show by finishing high enough in the Budweiser Duels, which will be coming up later this week, or they can fall back on buying out the owner points of a team that did finish top 35 in points last season and starting at the rear of the field for the Great American Race. As you heard the command to fire up the engines, we are getting ready to go. It's rookie Zach Flickinger on point alongside of Kyle Matthews. A number of drivers had to go to backup cars after incidents that took place during the opening practice session, including defending champion Charles Jackson, his teammate Aaron Henderson, Noah Poncer, who was the fastest during that practice session, Dylan Young, who was second fastest during the practice session, as well as Ian Dutta in the 07 and John Arndt in the 01. Top 8 will make the show. Everybody else will have to try and get the final 7 spots via the Budweiser Duels. Who are they going to be? We will find out. Ticker comes up. We switch it over to the fastest lap portion as we're ready to go. 10 laps of racing here. 10 opportunities to try and put down the fastest lap in this session. We should also keep in mind, if you wreck, your time does not count. Getting up through the gears, Zach Flickinger right behind him, Jonathan Zorling in the 83. Liam Ervig side by side there with Kyle Matthews. Remember, though, this is not a race to get to the front. As a matter of fact, some of the best laps are usually turned when you're at the rear of the field in the draft. So the 28 and the 83 may not be putting down lightning fast lap times here on this first lap, as they're almost 3 wide back there. That was Rohit Arvu almost getting kicked to the high side. First laps here. And the fastest car on track, Dylan Young. Noah Poncer, second fastest. Those drivers were 1-2 in the practice session, so not much of a surprise there. We'll drop back here. There is Liam Ervig. Trek Togger working on the high side there with Kyle Matthews as they'll work their way past the Stewart-Haas Racing Chevrolet. Right now, the 19 of Armando Shazaz is on the outside looking in. Charles Jackson right now holds the 8th spot. At the line, Trek Togger is now the fastest on track. Kyle Matthews now second as they almost wrecked each other. Then it's Zach Flickinger, Jonathan Zorling, Liam Ervig. And my driver's list is covered up. Then it's McIntosh in the 16. He's 6th fastest. His teammate, Elijah Gordon, right now is 7th fastest. And James McLeod right now 8th fastest. So, ironically, the top 8 right now on track are the top 8 in speeds. And Keon Eddington, 11th right now on track, just jumped to the top of the charts. Oh, trouble! Yikes! McLeod nearly got into the 17 car of Elijah Gordon. Has anyone encountered problems yet? Doesn't look like it. Looks like everybody's remained spaced out. As we're looking at John Arndt here at the tail end of the field. Everybody is still going. Nobody's made contact. It's now Luis Hernandez who's into the show. Elijah Gordon currently is on the outside looking in, along with William Brock in the 13. At the line this time, Emmanuel Hartnett. And I did some boo-boo with the camera angle. Where's the 38? There he is. There's a lot of speed being produced in this area. Well, wait a minute. There he is. Yep. 35.150. And just behind him was Tony Green. Now he's second fastest. Just ahead of them, James Silverfox is now third fastest in that Richard Petty Motorsports Ford. Alex Tanker's now jumped up into this group. So is James Shelley, so is DJ Curtis at the line. Fastest lap still is the 38 of Emmanuel Hartnett. So he's in good shape right now. Ian Eddington, 7th. 8th place right now, McIntosh. James McLeod now is in the 9th spot for speed. Needs a faster lap. James Shelley, 10th. Another driver that's popped up in there, hadn't talked about yet. He's actually quite a ways back. There he is, the 78 of Solera. Right now, he currently sits 5th fastest. No change in the top 8 that lap, as time is running out. Up to this point, remember we talked about drivers that are trying to race their way into the show and not have to fall back on owner points. Only one of those drivers at this point would accomplish that, and that's James Silverfox. Well, no, DJ Curtis as well. 6th fastest. My apologies. The 14 car. Snaking their way down the front straightaway, trying to turn a fast lap at the line. Is there any change amongst the top 8? No. No changes at all. And there's only 3 laps to go in this session. Right now, the driver on the outside looking in is the 34. There he is, James Shelley. He's trying to get a faster lap time than McIntosh. Right now, it's Hartnett, Green, Silverfox, Tanker, Solera, Curtis, Eddington, and McIntosh that hold the top 8 spots. Can anybody beat their lap times? They got to beat a 35.3439. As a matter of fact, I'm looking here, though. Shelley and the 16 of McIntosh are both tied. And I did not mention this, but the way that it's determined on that tiebreaker is whoever's running the furthest up on track. So now, if Shelley can catch the 16 and bypass him, then Shelley's in, and McIntosh is out. But McIntosh is up here near the front of the field. There he is, right now 3rd in the running order, now going for 2nd underneath of Zorling. You got to think he's realizing that. Nope, well, wait a minute, someone just jumped up in there. That was Shelley. Shelley jumped up to 2nd. So now Shelley's into the show, and Levi McIntyre just jumped up in there as well. Where's the 99? There he is. He just jumped up to 6th. And now Ian Dutta is out. DJ Curtis right now sits in the 8th spot. And the session's complete. And it looks like it's going to be Hartnett with the fastest lap. He's in. His teammate James Shelley will be 2nd. So Front Row Motorsports goes 1-2 in the speeds. They're both into the show. Tony Green makes it with 3rd fastest. James Silverfox is in 4th fastest. Alex Tanker will make the field in 5th fastest. Levi McIntyre, a little bit of a last minute there, as he's going to be in 6th fastest. The 78 of Solera is in 7th fastest, and DJ Curtis will get the final transfer spot into the show via group qualifying. Just missing out was Ian Dutta in the 07 and Armando Shazaz in the 19. And the good news for these drivers is the fact that Silverfox, Curtis, and McIntyre are all going to make the show via speed, which means that of the 7 drivers that will make it in via the duels, only 4 of those slots we know for certain are going to be taken by drivers from last season that can use owner points to get in, which means 3 slots are going to still be available to drivers that are trying to make the show in the Budweiser Duels. So what a race there. We're not going to show you the finishing results because the finishing results aren't what mattered in this. Your finishing results are basically on the top left of your screen right now. As Front Row Motorsports, what a performance there for them. Both their drivers are going to make it in the 38 and the 34. What a tremendous job by that team. So officially the drivers again that are going to be in the Daytona 500 via group qualifying here are Emmanuel Hartnett, James Shelley, Tony Green, James Silverfox, Alex Tanker, Levi McIntyre. I'm not able to look at my thing. I believe it's Simon Solera and DJ Curtis. You guys are locked into the show. Everybody else that finished from 9th fastest in speeds on down will have to try and battle for 7 positions left in the Great American Race in the Budweiser Duels. Up next, though, it's going to be the group qualifying session. Well, actually, no, it'll be opening practice and then group qualifying for the drivers up to this point that were already locked into the show. We'll see the other 27 drivers that we will see in the Daytona 500. That will get us the idea of who's going to be starting on the pole position for the Great American Race for that group qualifying, and also set up the front portion of the field for both the Budweiser Duels 1 and 2. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, be sure to give us a video, like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We're showing you your full results up there at the top left of your screen. We'll show you the rest of where everybody was as far as speeds. Trek Togger, the slowest car on track, with still a 35.6. So that shows you just how close the speeds were here today. Only 0.5 difference between himself and the fastest car on track, Emmanuel Hartnett. So thank you guys for watching. Next up, as I said, it's going to be the opening practice session for the drivers locked into the 500, then their group qualifying, then next on tap will be the Budweiser Duels, where we will be finally determining the full field for the Great American Race, the 11th annual Snickers Cup Series Daytona 500. Thank you once again, everybody, for watching. Hope you continue to enjoy the weekend here on the NNSCRA Sports Channel, offline racing at its best. Yeah.